Before I begin, I want to give a huge shout out to Ziggy in the ASA Discord. Their stat sheet for this season was a godsend for me to use while making this video. The link to the spreadsheet will be in the description, so make sure to check it out. We're 3/4 of the way through the regular season and almost all the spots for Sundown are locked in. There's a few more games left to be played, so let's take a look at how we got here before the All-Star game happens. What do you mean I missed it? Breaking news, Fireballs do Fireball things for the 4th consecutive season. GM Corbin proves he's a better manager than a ball player. Versatility of Pianta shown as YP works wonders in the outfield and RP secures games on the mound. But that's only on the good days. On the bad days, you see 7-run leads squandered, an offense that stalls out, and some of the most questionable hitting decisions I've ever seen. Volatility is nothing new for this team. In fact, that's what makes them interesting to watch. Either they curb stomp their opponents, or they blow massive leads. We're past the All-Star break with 6-6 still on the table, so let's see if they blow this momentum too. Spectro knows this is the best team he's ever put together, so it's no wonder why he's going all in this season. Gone are the days of wallowing near the bottom of the BFC hoping simply to make it to Sundown. Instead, we have a hyper-powered offense that leads the league in home runs. It's not like the rookies are slouches on defense either. Firebro and Red Critter are fantastic infielders, and the team's pitching rotation is top tier. The swap for Wario hasn't broken the bullpen, and it furthers the offense over everything mindset the rookies thrive on. There's just one small hurdle you need to overcome before you can achieve postseason immortality. The team's hitting is subpar outside of crushing balls over the fence. The rookies sport the 3rd lowest batting average in the league and have the most double plays hit into. It doesn't matter if Boney Stark is playing out of his goddamn mind hitting home runs left and right. If there's no one on base, you can't officially extend a lead or reduce a deficit. That last part is important because when this defense breaks, it shatters. Again, the push for a title makes sense, but with how much of next season you gambled away for a chance to make this one special, you better hope that you walk away with a ring.
Let's go! Okie dokie.
You know, after the PD trade, I thought this team was throwing. I thought this was going to be yet another lost season due to incompetent management. However, I was proven wrong. In fact, I was proven wrong on every conceivable level. I thought that dumping PD would leave the team nearly winless. They proceeded to rattle off 4 straight wins. I thought that the hitting staff couldn't fix K-Rule. The man would go on to hit 4 home runs in one game and become the backbone of the Knights offense. I thought that Cyber was burning money with how expensive his team's contracts were. I vastly underestimated how deep this team's pockets were. It's not just K-Rool and Blitter putting in work. Switching Luigi to technique class might have saved his career, as his star pitch is all but guarantee an out if contact is made. In short, they've taken all the doubters behind the woodshed and slaughtered them like a 9-0 deficit. Dare I say it, Cyber finally has a good team again. May God have mercy on us all. With how bad the offseason went... Hold on, I think my transition got stuck. Wait, what's that asterisk doing there? And why do I feel a sharp pain in my chest all of a sudden? I only have myself to blame for thinking this team would be anything other than mid. I should have taken management's word at face value when they said the Flowers suck and they'd be lucky to make it to Sundown. But no, I just had to witness their 3-0 start and think they still had some fire left in them. Oh, there's some fire left alright, but it's coming from the charred remains of Wiggler's contract. This team has its moments, but when they fail hard. Daisy's one of the more reliable hitters in the team, but it's hard to sing praise for someone who has the 2nd most double plays hit into in the league. It also doesn't help that she has the 5th highest ERA out of pitchers with more than 10 innings pitched. Critter's been a menace at shortstop and a key figure in the Flowers offense, but he's been marred by having multiple fielding errors and 3 strikeouts. As for Hammer Bro, he has the volatility of a crypto meme coin. Some days he's crushing pitches left and right and getting 7 RBI a game. Other days he's content just to make an on-base or contribute a run or two to a weak team performance. Blue Toad is just about the only player on this team that's good without much drawback. He's the most consistent hitter with the same number of home runs as Critter and only has 4 fewer RBIs. Plus, he hasn't hit into any double plays, unlike every other player on this team. Speaking of the rest of the team, they're all terrible! Link's pitching fell off a cliff after week 1. Looper's only here to prevent another pitching snafu. Baby DK has more double plays hit into than games played. Blue Yoshi has been serviceable in the outfield and arguably better than Captain Falcon at the plate, but serviceable doesn't cut it when you get mollywopped by the actually good teams of the league. And all I have to say for Wiggler is that he's been shipped off to the rookies in exchange for draft picks. At this point, it's unquestionable that the Flowers are content with preparing for next season while laying down a die for the remainder of this one. When Deuce said he was tired of having the same team every season, we all weren't prepared for what that meant. Hume trading away staple Diddy Kong for Red Magikarp on opening night on the false pretense that Red Mag had come with Wario. With how the season's played out, Wilds fans are probably wishing the team roster didn't get shaken up so much. Defensively, it's business as usual. It helps when you have one of the best infields in the league and a stellar outfield. The Wild's strong pitching is still here, with DK being a fine starter. Even with the recent trade, Diddy Kong shouldn't have any problems filling in the gap on the mound left by Wario. But defense isn't the reason why this team is sitting at 4-5 right now. It's the offense. Especially DK. He doesn't put the fear of God in defenses when he steps up to the plate like he used to. In fact, the only true offensive threat left on the Wilds is Brown Critter. And that's not even getting into this team's nasty habit of leaving runners on base. Now, will the Wilds still see Sundown? Of course, but don't be surprised if you see them in their first ever playing game. We all thought this team was going places, yet the only place this team's been going is off the edge of a fucking cliff. All that's left of a promising offseason is a single win against the King of Choking and an oversized plant that can't carry a team by himself. Did I say King singular? I meant one of the Kings of Choking, because the Eggs now match the Fireball's propensity to squander huge leads by managing to blow a 7-run lead and a 9-run lead. This team has no clutch factor. In fact, this team doesn't really have any sort of identity. They aren't a power-hitting menace, since the only Eggs player who really fits that bill is Peter Repeater. They aren't a slap-hitting machine, recording the second lowest team batting average. They aren't a defensive juggernaut due to blown leads and the second worst run differential. They're just there. A team that gets trampled on by the actual contenders of the league. I am looking forward to the X-Monsters game in Week 6. I cannot wait to watch that train wreck.
Dominating.
This team is good. Like, really fucking good. In almost every game they've played, they show up, kick ass, and humiliate their opponent. If they don't dominate from the outset, they keep things competitive long enough to give their opponent a glimmer of hope before crushing it into a million pieces. Boomerang Bro and Dry Bones are having a generational season right now. In fact, any trace of the team's once shaky offense is long gone. Combined with their ever-superb defense, the Bows now boast the second highest run differential in the league. The only part of this team you can reasonably call bad are the Exciting Whites, which at this point should be renamed to just the Exciting White. Empty is on pace for winning Knee of the Year, boasting a strong performance on the mound and an incredible campaign at the plate. Besides, everyone loves it when a Mii gets a grand slam. Honestly, they're a fun team to watch. You're looking at the 1 seed here, folks. Woo! That sure was a lot of baseball. Now for the part I forgot to do last time. Predictions! Here's how I think the remaining 3 games are going to turn out. Following that, here's what I predict the final rankings will be going into Sundown. As for Sundown itself, I'm going to be ballsy and predict how the whole bracket turns out, March Madness style. In the 3 vs 6 game, I see the Wilds coming away with a win. It's not just because I think it would be hilarious if the Fireballs choke in the playoffs again. If any of the lower seeds have the units to take down the Fireballs, the Wilds are probably the best ones to do it. In the 4 vs 5 game, I see Spectra wiping the floor with Akamos. The first contest between the two wasn't pretty for the Flowers, and now they have even fewer capable players. Now moving on to the semifinals. For Bows vs Rookies, I'm giving it to the Bows. Even though the Rookies bested them in their first outing, I still think the Bows are the better team and should win out in the best of 3. For Wilds vs Knights, I'm giving it to the Knights. I'm inclined to believe these games will be an offensive shootout, at least from the Knights. They've made mincemeat of competent defenses, and even if theirs isn't the greatest, they're more than capable of carving out huge leads and holding on to them. Now for the finals, the Knights versus the Bows. It'll be the first time a BFC team has ever appeared in the championship game. Which of these 2 titans will win? It's the Bows. The Bows are getting the 2-peat. However, it's not going to be a blowout. I'm expecting the series to go to Game 5, and I'm also expecting all the matches to be peak baseball. See you all in 2 weeks for these predictions to age like milk.